Welcome back to the podcast, guys. This is the Meant to Be podcast. I am your host, Marvin Williams.
All right. Do you hear that?
I mean, I could hear it because it's Hunter, but like, what are we going to do? You just wanted to keep them all out.
Keep them natural. Keep them happy. You could take...
Well, yeah, Hunter is, I don't know if you guys can even hear it through here, but Hunter is playing with this toy right next to us. He's very excited to see us because we went to go see a movie, but now he's like, let's play, guys.
But yes, welcome back.
It's very nice to see everyone. Hopefully you guys are back. You saw the first one and let us know what you thought. But as of the time you guys are going to hear this, it will be 2 days before our anniversary, right? Because 24? Yeah, 2 days. 2 days.
So do you remember our anniversary?
I remember our anniversary, February 26th, 2023.
Yeah.
So just like making sure, here we go.
He's just a baby.
We are less than 2 minutes in and he's already, if you guys don't know why we're laughing, come over to visual and you will see Raj just walking right in front of the camera. He doesn't understand, but it's fine. So did you want to do your icebreaker or do you want me to do the icebreaker?
That way both.
Well, yeah, we're both going to answer it, but I know this is your idea, so I want you to, this is your moment.
Why you put me on blast? Why can't you just be like, we have a little icebreaker?
We're trying things out, guys. This is episode 2. It's like, we don't know what we're doing, but we're going to try everything and see what sticks. Y'all let us know what y'all like and what you don't like. Oh, give it a second. There it goes again. You can sit literally anywhere else, Raja. We are recording for like the second time ever. You have to be right in front of the camera on the table. Thank you.
The main character. No, I just, because of what we're going to be speaking about today in the podcast, I wanted to know if you growing up had any ideas of what your wedding would look like.
So I think growing up as a boy, I never like really thought about my wedding. I know I feel like with, the general idea and with television and stuff, my only idea was it would be like in a church, like this big white wedding. That's all I've ever thought like weddings were supposed to be. And it wasn't until like I actually got old enough and started planning a wedding, that's when I was like, oh, it doesn't have to be in a church, it doesn't have to be white. You're able to do different colors, different venues.
Why you gotta be white?
Okay, because that's the way television portrays it. But I don't think I ever thought like colors or who I'd be, or I did think groomsmen. That was the only literally groomsmen, and then what we'll talk about in a second when we get to the actual wedding day of what like I contributed really to the wedding. But other than that, that was all I had ever thought.
What a contribution it was.
It sure was. The people loved everything. The people, my people.
What's funny is definitely for me, I wanted a beach wedding. I did. Like ever since I was like, even when Pinterest became a thing, I would go on Pinterest and I literally saved everything for like beach. It was all beach. And I did kind of have like a blue color scheme a little bit, which is kind of weird because I actually, before meeting you and getting older, I wanted it to be emerald green. But I kept seeing like with like the water and the natural stuff and everything, like I wanted to be like barefoot with these really pretty, like they called them like the bottomless sandals or something, and it just like wraps around your foot and it's like this gorgeous like piece that like comes up. It was really pretty. So I definitely had that idea in mind. What we ended up with was just as beautiful, I think, in my opinion, but it was different than what I had assumed growing up my wedding would look like a little bit. But it wasn't actually too far off. Color scheme was pretty much similar. The ring, I darn near had the same exact thought for a ring since the beginning. It took me to like find this one that I was like obsessed with. So, which brings us to the topic of the ring and how that became to be.
I get lots of compliments when it comes to your ring. People say that, oh, he did very good. I didn't do anything. What happened was when Rachel and I pretty much just met, we started talking marriage and weddings and stuff because we're crazy people.
Like 2 minutes in.
And
really 2 minutes in.
I know you sent me a ring before, or you might have sent me like style.
I sent you like probably 3 or 4 that I would be like, oh, something like this. That's what I kept saying. I'd be like, oh, I just
Something
like
like this.
something like this. I like this. If you give me something like this, I'm a happy camper.
Yeah, but then one day, were we on the phone or were you?
We were on the phone. I think we were on the phone. I actually, what's funny, so I don't know if you can see it in the light. This is the ring.
Yes.
Very gorgeous. I love it so much. Um, we were talking again about it because I don't know why we brought up like color or design, stuff like that. And so I went on Etsy of all places and I found a private jeweler on Etsy and I found them because they had a similar taste to my style that I liked. Like some of the ones that I did send you was already, I think, from that page that I kind of like saw, but I was like, oh, like this is cute, but like I don't want exactly this ring, but I want something similar. So then when I stumbled upon that jeweler, and that this design specifically, that's when I was like, I want this ring. I literally sent it to you. I texted him immediately. I was like, this is the ring that I want. Do not propose to me anything less than this ring. And he said, okay. And like, didn't you purchase the ring like right then and there?
On the spot. I think that's when we were on because I remember we were on the phone when I purchased it because you were like, what are you doing? It's like, are you doing anything right now? You're like buying, and I was just like, woman, shut up and let me surprise you. So like, I don't get to do much when it comes to like, being married and stuff, but like I get like 2 things. I buy the ring and I do the proposal. So like, let me do this.
Listen, I got really excited. You fell silent because all he said was like, okay. And then all of a sudden I'm hearing like little tippy taps on it. You know, when sometimes you can hear little tippy taps on like the phone. Over FaceTime, I heard some tippy taps and I was like, I think I know what those mean. And
Like figuring things out. Cause like when it comes to like engagement as a man, I feel like people are always like, it's gotta be like what, like a few months of your salary or something like that is what I always heard. So when you send me this ring that wasn't like stupid expensive, I was like, oh, I have to get this one.
yeah,
Especially when you were like so definitive, like this is the one. I was like, okay, she's not gonna change her mind, so this is gonna
no,
be the one. So
I'm very decisive. People know me. They know that like once I see something that I like, that is what I want. That is what I want to get. Even if I can't get it in that moment, I'm gonna get it eventually. This is what I like. Um, I did even ask you after you had gotten in, after you proposed, I was like, what if I change my mind? And he was like, you would not have changed your mind.
no, I know.
He was like, you're very set on what you wanted. And yeah, I'm very happy with it too. And it is one of those things, like, I'm not a type of person who wants anybody to like break the bank on, you want to sit right here? It's a great place to sit, apparently. Very comfy.
You can sit on the
My nice white table. So, basically, where was I at? What was the point?
how decisive and definitive you are. Everyone knows you. Ring, Raja, Hunter. Is it gone?
It's gone.
God.
It is gone. Hold on, let me back it up. I got it. I got it. I got it. I am somebody too that does not feel like you need to break the bank to get something really nice. This jeweler was really affordable. And I even wanted the moissanite gem.
Yep.
Like I was totally fine with the moissanite and it would have made the ring even like less expensive than what you wanted to do. You wanted to get me a diamond, which I mean like I'm not complaining about no diamonds, but I would have been happy with moissanite as well.
Yeah, I know you would have been happy with moissanite, but I feel like it's always, get the girl a diamond, or like diamonds are our girl best friends and things like that. So that's why I was like, the least I want to do is be able to get the diamond.
But yes, I was very happy when I saw that this is what you had gotten for me because that is exactly what I wanted. And so I think the point is to get a man that's going to listen to what you want. Because when I used to work at David's Bridal, I would always compliment on a woman's ring. I think it's gorgeous. I just love jewelry in general. And something that was really nice to say to people when like they would come in and they're getting engaged and they're super excited and they want to try on a dress. First thing I would go to is like, oh my gosh, let me see the ring. And I was like, let me see your ring. And I'm not joking. The number one thing I would hear almost every other bride, they'd be like, oh, here it is. But like, thanks, it's cute, but we're going to go get it exchanged. And I'm like, oh, really? And they're like, yeah, it's not really my style. He tried. And I'm like, in my head, though, I'm like, you don't have any friends or family that helped at least steer him in the direction of what you like. Like, nothing. You didn't have any. He just went like a wire. So that's why, like, hearing so many women always say that was the biggest thing that, like, was they would go get switched out or exchanged for something that they wanted different. Um, Made me know, especially like, okay, let me pick out the ring and then just send you the details. So then that way you just know what it is. Then that way when I get engaged, I am so happy and there's no kind of like, because I feel like in that moment, if like you would engage, if you would propose to me, engage to me, if you would propose to me with a ring that I'm not crazy about, I'd be like, it would show on my face. I am a facial expression person. It would show on my face. I'd be like, thanks, like I'd be like the little avocado kid. Avocado, thanks. So I feel like I'd be like the little avocado kid that's like, thank you so much. And then like the next day, they're like, can we go get it changed? And I'm like, that's awful. Like I just feel like that is awful. So yes, I'm extremely happy. I get compliments on this ring all the time.
All the time.
People think it's also vintage. They think it's been like in the family for centuries. I'm like, no, it's an Etsy jeweler. Thank you so much though. But yeah, it's just something that I knew definitively. I did not want, because like I feel bad too if like you put so much work and effort into like getting a ring for me and then I'm not crazy about it. I feel like that would make my partner feel bad and I didn't want him to feel bad. So I'm like, here's what I want. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure you're able to get like refunds and stuff whenever you return rings, but like that's got to be like just like gutting experience. So I'm glad we didn't have to go through that. But I know like not like free game, but like I guess free game. Definitely like listen to your partner and like try to like figure out some way in advance to figure out what they like. Either you guys like have that conversation or you maybe like playfully go to the mall and like check out some rings or just go ring shopping together. Just when like if you know this is it, like I don't think there's any shame in like checking out rings or whatever, you know?
Oh my God.
Gotta come to the middle. Like, hey guys, what are we doing here?
Come.
Yeah, where was I even going with that?
These animals.
I've lost my train of thought. It's gonna be fun.
Rings, going shopping, definitively knowing. I
don't know, but I love what you were doing there. But I think just in general, definitely like get the ring that your partner is gonna like, and if you have some friends, definitely like try to send your friends like some ideas of what you like, so that your partner has somewhere to go to. I don't think haywire is necessarily like bad when it's what you have to do, but like for some way somehow you got to have a conversation because like there's so many different like sizes and cuts and carats, colors and shapes and colors of every different size or whatever. So like when it comes to that, I feel like you definitely need some kind of idea because you don't want to go into that moment like completely blind. And then it's like, hey, I'm saying yes, but this ring's a go. So I don't think that's something that anyone should have to experience, but I'm sure that happens all the time. But what are you going to do?
Yeah. So that's why I was like, I'm going to send him exactly what I want so that I get exactly what I want.
Exactly. And then once the ring was purchased, I think, well, we can like, I guess we can get into this as well. When we started dating, you came up, well, I went to visit you first and then you came to visit me. But when you came to visit that first time, the ring was in my apartment already. I had already had the ring. It had already been delivered.
Which is crazy. Can we just run that back real quick? Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Because we had only known each other for like maybe 2 months.
You sent me a ring. I bought the ring. I did good.
Touche. But I just look back at that and I think that is crazy. Like when I think about some people that are like, found this person and like, we're so happy. And then I'm like, but it's only been like 2 weeks. And then I'm like, you told me you love me in like 3 weeks. So I get it. I have no room to talk. You came to see me in October.
October.
And then the first week of November, I flew to Orlando to surprise you for your birthday. I'd spoken to your best friend, Alan, and also one of your best friends, Maddie. And Alan and Maddie are dating. Cute couple. I love them.
Alan and Maddie.
Love them so much. I immediately liked them from the jump because I was able to message them and plan a surprise. They helped me get you distracted. I flew down to Orlando. They picked me up from the airport, and I was hanging out in their apartment, and they asked for Marvin to like come over. I can't remember what the excuse was, but they got him to come over, and I opened the door, and you saw me there. You were like, he wouldn't move. He was a statue. I thought he'd be like, oh my gosh. He was like,
I didn't think it was real because like we had just talked earlier in the day, and you were going. Did you say you were going to the movies and out with your friends? So like when I opened the door and they're there, I'm like, am I dreaming? Like what's happening here? So just you definitely caught me off guard. But then I was also like, there's a ring in my apartment. I think it was just like out in the open as well.
Yeah.
So
you had to hide that for sure. It was one of those things. So I remember too, after that trip, when I officially moved, I was coming down from Tampa to Orlando again, just to like hang out and actually help you pack a little bit, because 2 weeks after I moved to Tampa, he moved to live across, like down the street from me, basically across the street, but he lived like down the street from me, which was adorable.
Like 4 minutes.
If that. And I came over to help him pack, and I literally asked you, is there anything in here that I am not supposed to see? And he said, no, you're good. You can start packing some of my stuff. So you hid this ring in one of the most cliche, obvious spots you could ever hide a ring. This is like chick flick movie-esque level hiding the ring. It was in his sock drawer. Okay. And that was the first place I went to try to help you start packing. And I opened the drawer, pulling the socks out, and right in the back, there's that cute little box. And it took all of me to open the box. And I just saw it, and I was like, I put my hands up. I said, I don't think I'm supposed to see this.
Yeah, I could hear it from the other room while I was packing up like the living room or the kitchen.
Yeah.
It's like just this scream. But like, to be completely honest, I don't remember where I hid the ring. So just, I knew I was going to find it one of these days in the movie, and there it was, immediately found. Just
so what you're saying is you lost the ring.
I didn't lose the ring. I just knew it was hidden somewhere. And then, of course, moving out, we're going to find it. So.
But I wasn't supposed to find it.
You knew what the ring looked like.
I knew what the ring looked like, but I still wanted the element of surprise. I only seen it over like a website. I didn't see it in person. You know, there's like a difference seeing some piece in like.
There, right?
You know, there's a difference when you see things online and then when you see things in person. I really wanted the element of surprise to see it in person with you down on one knee. I didn't want to open the box. So it took all of me not to open the box. So I just down, closed the drawer, put my hands up. I said, I'm not supposed to see this. You came in, you took the ring, you hid it somewhere else. Where'd you put it? Money in the bank?
Oh, yeah. I put it in my Money in the Bank briefcase. Yeah, big wrestling fan here. So I think I got that on like a sale. So I was like, I'm going to put anything in here. It might as well be the ring.
For those of you that don't know what a Money in the Bank is in wrestling terms.
I do want to hear you explain this.
Oh, God. Okay.
I was like, I wasn't going to explain it, but since you want to explain it, I want to see how you explain it.
I am a novice when it comes to wrestling, okay? I only just started seeing it. I wouldn't say fully watching. I'm not there yet. Just started seeing it ever since I started dating you because you were a huge wrestling fan. So let's see if I can get this right. Okay. So the Money in the Bank is a wrestling match that happens when there's a few wrestlers that they put in the, what do you call the thingy?
Ring.
In the ring. I was going to say rink, like an ice skating ring.
Like an ice skating ring.
In the ring. And it's dangling from the ceiling. And they have a ladder. Am I getting close? Am I hot?
So far, you're good.
Oh, ha. So then there's a ladder. And the wrestlers have to fight it out to climb this ladder to grab the Money in the Bank. And then the Money in the Bank can be used at any given time to fight the current champion or anybody?
Current champion.
Oh my gosh, I'm a genius. Um, so yeah, that's what Money in the Bank is. And you have a cute little briefcase.
A little replica, yeah.
Just a replica of it.
I have the actual Money in the Bank briefcase. So Cody Rhodes, I'm on your ass.
And you also have 2 championship belts as well.
Yeah, I have those. I think my mom got me both of those.
Oh, really?
I want to say yes. I know she definitely got me the spin one that I got first. So I want to say she also got the second one.
We'll have to show those off sometime.
Yeah.
In another podcast to see the extreme detail in these belts. They look like they're real belts.
They're beautiful.
They are beautiful. I'll give you that. Speaking of beautiful, our proposal.
This proposal took a lot of work and planning. So I just told you what the original idea was because your family goes on, well, used to go on like a yearly vacation, right?
We try to sometimes. I know the past year we weren't able to. What my family does, because all of my siblings and I were older, and both my siblings have kids. My brother's married. What we would do sometimes is for Christmas we'll do a family experience instead of like big gifts, because like we're all at that age that like what's really a big gift? Like unless you're gonna
need please. Pay my rent, pay any bill you like. That's what a good gift is.
That is a good gift. I was starting to make my wish list for my birthday, and I was like, if I could just add my car insurance, if I could just add my rent to anything for my little birthday surprise, that'd be great. So because we're all, I guess, in like the technical terms, an adult, my parents instead would spend, the money that they would spend on like gifts and stuff for a trip, which was really fun. So they were planning on doing, I'm sorry, am I boring you?
Excuse me, I have to yawn. We just happen to be recording a podcast, so I'm trying to keep it cool and casual. Nobody on the audio knew I was yawning.
Anyways, I'm just going to talk to my professional over here.
Okay.
I think it's crazy how sometimes he'll just yawn in the middle of me talking like I'm just boring him.
Do you see what I go through while you sit me with them big old brown eyes?
Okay, anyways.
He was fighting for his life under this pillow right now.
I'm fighting for my life, apparently, to keep you awake. So, but, yeah, so we'll take trips together, and they would just use that money for a trip instead of a gift, because we're at that stage where just gifts, it's like random things. Like if I need like new face, like wash or hand towels or random things for the pets, like it would be little things like that. So they were like, instead of us putting like the random money to that, let's just do it for a trip. So apparently they were planning a trip to the Outer Banks.
Yes.
And they usually do not invite boyfriends, significant others on our trips, because
it was told to me very like plainly, like if you are not engaged, you cannot come on this trip. Even though your family absolutely adores me, they're like, sorry, no ring, no trip for you.
They do absolutely adore you. It is mainly because we have had significant others in the past join us on trips.
I have to pay for the sins of your ex-whores. This is crazy.
Okay. Well, we're not going to get into detail about that because it wasn't even mine. Anyways, we were told that from there on out, we were not to bring boyfriends on trips, significant others on trips, because of the fact that like they would be in like family photos on these trips, and then they'd like, there would be breakups, and then there would be like no more great pictures from the trip. So it was one of those things that they were like, we're gonna avoid that altogether so that we can keep our good memories and like have these photos. But apparently they did want to bring you on the trip. But okay, I don't know.
Your dad's idea. He was like, hey, I know I said like
shocking,
no boyfriends or whatever, you can't come on the trip if you aren't engaged. But if you want to propose on the trip, then you could come. And low key, I was completely against this idea, but your father brought it up, so like I can't really say no. Because like I never wanted to propose to you in front of like a sea of people. I always wanted to be
people. There's like 7 of us.
That's a sea of people.
7. Hold on. Mom, Dad, Heather, Sean, Allie, Paxton, Trip, Hiro. Okay, so like 8 of us.
That's a sea of people. It's way too many people to me. So I always wanted it to be like just us, and we have that moment where we're able to like tell everybody, yeah, we're engaged and stuff. But like, I think I was gonna go through with it. So I feel like I probably like talked myself into it, like, yeah, I can do this. But then I think that's when Keto got sick, and that's when we were like,
Oh my gosh.
trip.
Yeah. That is right. I couldn't remember why the trip didn't happen. I do remember
I'm like
that.
90% sure that's why the trip.
Yeah, because I think that his first round of chemo was
Mhm.
in May. When or it was at the second round. I think the second or third round was in May. So yeah.
Yeah, because I think that definitely knocked out Heather and Hito, and I think your parents also wanted to be there just like
Yeah.
for Heather, so it was just like a lot. So yeah, but
Another
that,
story for another day.
yeah, so that led to, I guess, what my, I don't know if it was a backup or if this might have been my original plan, but there was this picnic service that I had been like following on Instagram called I think just Orlando Picnic, and they have a proposal service where they're able to like set up either like a place in a park, or like for us it was a gazebo, and you're just able to like pick that out. They do everything, like all the like, signs, the rose petals, the flowers, all whatever. They set all that up, and you kind of just like show up and you do your thing. So that's what I went with, and like the planning for it was like all over the place. So like originally, like I reached out to your bosses at David's Bridal at the time to like be like, hey, I need to propose to Rachel. What weekend or whatever can you give her? And they were like, we'll give her this weekend. And then I think we were just having like a conversation, and you told me that like, yeah, I have my schedule. I'm working this in. I was like, you can't be working that day. That's the day I'm supposed to be proposing. So I like,
You didn't say that out loud though.
I know this is all
Yeah, it's like
me like freaking out at the moment. I'm like, I put down the deposit and everything. So I think I reached back out to you, boss, and I was like, yo, what the heck? We had an agreement. They were like, oh, okay. And I think they like reached out to you and like gave you the day off. And I was like, okay,
so
make it work.
I'm not gonna lie. Once that happened, I had a feeling.
See, this is
I
what
did have a feeling.
can't let too many people. This is why I said not a sea of people.
I did have a feeling because I never at that job would get like a Saturday, Sunday off.
They were very clear. You do not get a weekend. You don't get to breathe without me. I control everything. You don't get to go take a pee without. You can't fart without me smelling it.
I will say I literally asked for Sundays off so that I could go to church and then FaceTime my family for Fam Bam Din
I am
Din.
your God now. That's what they were saying.
And I literally, they were like, thanks, we'll take it into consideration. And then I never got a Sunday off. And then I was like, can I get a couple or like I just changed my schedule on Saturdays to be a certain time. And they were like, yeah, never touch your Saturdays again. And I was like, okay, well, I'm also part-time, so you can't really do that, but whatever. And so when I saw that they gave me like a weekend off on a Mother's Day weekend, that's when I was like, that's suspicious.
Yeah.
And then like you kind of had that panic look on your face a little bit. And I was like, let me not overthink it. I was like, let me not like put it in my mind, because then if it is literally just for something for funsies, then that's fine. Because you started to throw me off a little bit because I would have an outfit picked out. He was like, oh, get an outfit together. We're going to go with Adriana and Angel to go do walk with them to help them for their engagement shoot at a park. I was like, okay. And then he was like, and then we're going to go to this nice brunch spot afterwards. So I was like, okay. So then I put on one outfit. He was like, oh, that's cute. And he was like, try this on instead. He like you had me change like 3 outfits.
Was it 3?
It was 3 because
It's 2.
I consider it 3 technically, because like you had me put on the romper dress that you proposed to me in. You had me take it off, change it into something a little more cute casual, and then you had me take that off and you were like, nah, go back to the romper dress.
It's a good romper dress.
It is a good romper dress. It was the dress that you liked. That was the dress on his that you liked me in with the legs. So he had me keep changing and like my outfit. So then I'm like, what the heck are you doing? Like, what is all this changing? And then something else happened with the photographer.
Yeah, that was the other thing. So like literally things were like falling all over the place when it came to this proposal. So like we first had like the original plan of the Outer Banks. That fell through. We had I was gonna do this weekend, but then your job like messed that up. So that fell through. After getting that back on track, I had reached out to my friend Elisa, and I was like, hey, he's done like all of my photo shoots or whatever, just like pretty much since I've met her.
That was incredible.
Yes, so shout out to Elisa. But I was like, hey, can you photograph my engagement? She was like, absolutely, I'd be honored. And I think the day before, she was like, hey, I tested positive for COVID, but I'm gonna go to like all these places to like take all these different kind of tests to like get it confirmed. And I think she went to like an emergency clinic or something like that.
Mm-mm.
And that's when she got like the final confirmation, like, yeah, girl, you got COVID. So like I think the morning of I think that's when I decided like I guess I'm just not gonna have pictures. But then that morning of I was like, I have to have pictures. I can't just not have pictures of my engagement. So
Thank God I would have killed you if there was no one there.
on me entirely, but I got it fixed. Like we got our pictures. Like, come on. But that morning I texted Jordan. I was like, hey brother, you doing anything? And he's like, I think it's like I'm finishing up at the gym or playing basketball or something like that. And I was like, so would you be free to take pictures for my engagement? He was like, seriously? I was like, yeah, bro, what's happening like right now? I was like, okay, let me go home, get changed, and I'll meet you out there. I don't even think he went and got home and got changed. I think he came straight over to the place and got into position. So
Man was hiding behind the bushes.
listen, I think that was the first time you met Jordan too. So like, there's just this guy just coming out, like, congratulations.
Coming out of the bushes with a camera in his hand and your phone or is his phone or
Yeah,
something.
his phone in the beginning, yes.
This man just coming out the bushes with his phone in his hands, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? It's like, thankfully, I saw it was a gazebo. It was really pretty. So basically, we walked up, and I'm a curious little kitty. I just like nature too. And Marvin looked confused because apparently the place told him that it was set up in a gazebo. They just didn't tell him which gazebo and where.
When we show up in this like really small parking lot or whatever, just like walking around, I'm like, all right, I guess we'll just find it on our own.
Yeah. And again, and he was like, we're just waiting for Adriana and Angel to show up. But I am very curious. And I'm like, well, we're at this really cute park. Let's start looking for places for like cute little photos. Like in my head, how I had everything planned out, I was like, let me just then walk around. Like, let's just have a little cute nature walk. And then let's just figure out.
To my trap.
I was like, let's just figure out like where they would have really good shots. I saw this adorable little bridge. I was like, let's go walking on the bridge. They start walking on the bridge. And I see a gazebo at the end and it's like decked out. And at that point, I couldn't make out what it said or what anything was on it. I was like, oh, that's cute. Let's go see what's going on over there. And we walk up, and as I get closer, that's when I saw it just decked out and like a huge Marry Me sign. And that's when I think you got nervous because I think you
Of course I got nervous. I'm going to let you know right now because I know you're going to ask me a single thing I said during that. Like, I completely blacked out. Like, I couldn't tell you a single thing I said when I proposed to you.
Well, that and the fact that the people that set it up had it set up perfectly that you would walk me down to the center to then kneel down right then and there. This man gets so nervous. He takes me to the side of the gazebo and just kneels. And I was like,
well, I knew this was happening. I didn't know where to go. I've never done this before.
You literally, if they could have given you a more clearer sign, it was a whole path to the center, basically saying, propose here.
Whatever.
This man just gets nervous. The minute I finally realize what's happening and we walk up to it, he just drops. And then that makes me confused because I'm like, what's happening? And then this man that I don't know coming out the bushes with a camera. And I was like, oh my God, what's going on? I was like, where's Adrian?
I'm just a boy doing my best in a world that's throwing everything at me.
Yeah, but it was beautiful. And I remember my eyes got really blurry because I started to cry because I couldn't see. But you thought I didn't cry. You literally were like, I proposed to you. Like after the whole proposal, you're like, I proposed and everything. And you didn't shed a tear. I said, I shed multiple tears, sir.
Listen, I don't remember a lot. I just remember you like being very excited.
I was very excited. I was giddy. We pop up the picture of my mouth absolutely dropped open in like realization that I am engaged.
Yeah.
Because the whole day I kept like, as we were sitting there and hanging out and doing our whole thing, like I could not process that I was like a fiance at that point. And so I just kept realizing it and being like, look at it, look at it, look at it. And he proposed with
yeah, we were gonna get into that.
So, yeah, I knew we were going to get into that. He proposed with the middle,
Just the one,
just the one.
the way it was supposed to be.
But you showed me all three. You proposed with all
Was I supposed to
three.
just bring one of the three?
Yes.
No. I brought one of the three. I was gonna lose at least one.
One.
Yes, that was gonna happen anyway. So
Circling back to the fact that I'm curious,
Mm.
I just wanted to set up all three of them.
let me see what it looks like. Give me the other ones.
I just wanted a little taste into what it would look like on our wedding day.
Uh-huh.
So I put all three on.
Yeah,
They look gorgeous.
it
Beautiful.
did. Still does.
And now, mind you, the entire gazebo had a rug.
Mind you.
Had a rug. And like it came out of a cartoon movie, I go to take the top band off. I'm struggling a little bit. Shoot, the top one was hot and humid, so I was a little thicker on the ring finger than what I would have liked to be in that moment. I struggled to get it off, and I just and it
Rolls.
rolls. I'm not joking, like rolls off of all the rugs,
On some real like Tom and Jerry type stuff.
finds a crack, and I swear this thing turned, giggled, and then dropped through the slot of the gazebo.
I'm like, what do I even do here? Like, I just spent so much money on this ring, and now like we lost 1/3 of it in the middle of this gazebo. So we're like, what do we even do? And you're like, I can see it. It's like right in the crack.
It literally was like, it's down there. There's a way to get down there. But this gazebo had all these like wooden planks that were like, how do I explain this? It was like a maze almost. And I did not know what was down there because it was water.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know anything about water, if the water is wet, there's either an alligator or a snake in there, no matter what. If the water is wet, don't go in it. I was like, I'm not going to go down there. I'm in my nice dress. I'm not going to go in. We're about to go to brunch.
I was in like my nice polo, my nice little jeans and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to go down there either, especially if there's snakes.
It was also a Sunday. And so there was nobody working the park at all. Like the, what's it called? The like rangers, no rangers were on duty. Because Marvin, I think you walked over to the ranger post. It was closed. And it said it was closed on weekends. So I was like, okay, let me call the non-emergency police.
Yeah, we don't want to call like 911. Hey, we're missing our wedding ring.
I would have if I thought, panic enough. I'd be like, 911, my ring is gone. So we call the non-emergency police. They show up, looking at me like I'm crazy because I was like, my ring is down.
The one guy was like, yeah, no, I'm not going down.
The one guy was like, I'm gonna let you know right now. He even said, though, he was like, I'm not even gonna fit. There was a woman with him too, another officer. She hopped down there just to see if she could, and with everything that she had on her,
they got their vests, their gun, their whatever.
yeah, like
all that.
everything on there. She was like, I can't get through with like everything that I have on. She's like, I make it to a certain point, but she's like, I can't like get in there. So they were like, give us a second. We're gonna walk around the park and see if we can find somebody that wants to do it. It was like perfect timing. There were these two girls that were about to go to a rave in a mud pit. And they were like rave ready with like their clothes on. And the non-emergency police officers like walked past the girls and jokingly, sarcastically was like, hey, does one of you want to go digging for a ring under a gazebo? And but where to God, the one girl was like, yeah. And they were like, oh, really?
She was a real one.
And so they come back with the girls and she jumps down there and I am standing in the spot where the ring fell and I'm tapping my foot. I'm like, it's right here because I want her to like hear me where I'm at. And then I took my phone, my flashlight. I put the flashlight on so she could see it so that it would shine and maybe sparkle the ring a little bit. And I'm tapping and shining my light, looking crazy. And she grabs it and goes, got it. And like, comes crawling out and pops up with it. And like, I swear I will forever be grateful for that girl that did that. I think her name was Sierra. I followed her on Instagram after that. I was like, I definitely was like, you are amazing. Thank you so much. I was very appreciative of her. And if your name is not Sierra, I'm so sorry. It was a long day, but I was thankful I had the ring back. You were pretty sassy with me.
Because like, how do you lose the ring? I've had this ring hidden for like 6 months at this point, and within like 5 minutes of you having it, you have lost 1/3 of the ring. But we got it, so we got it together. We got married, so it all worked out, and it makes for a great story that we're now telling on our podcast.
Yeah, that's what it was definitely for. That's what I had in the back of my head the whole time.
That's what that was for. So guys, just be careful. Make sure that you're like right over whatever rugs, or maybe don't get engaged in the gazebo or whatever, but just like maybe do what I should have done and only brought the one. I don't know.
I'm just here for the plot.
Yeah.
It makes for a great plot.
It makes for a great story. And I think we told the story like we've only told like people in person and stuff. We never like put that anywhere but besides here. But the proposals obviously lead to like wedding planning, and like when it comes to wedding planning can be a lot. I know you were very stressed out. I was only like stressed, like feeding off of your stress, but then, like trying to figure things out together. Because our original plan, we were going to get married at a museum in, was it St. Pete? Is that?
Oh my God, yes. So we were going to get married at a museum. I won't name any names because
it's going to be a great place to get married to. Like, we were going to have some great pictures and stuff.
It would have been stunning. It would have been perfect. The issue that I had with them, and honestly, it is definitely partially our fault, I feel like, because we could have done a little bit more digging before signing in on the deposit.
Again, just a boy doing his best in the world, throwing everything at it.
We both had never been married before. Like, we don't know how this stuff goes. We go to this museum for it. It's stunning. It is stunning. It was perfect. The colors, everything was just immaculate. It had this like black stone waterfall to get married in front of. It was more modern. So like it had wood paneling, and it was all this really light coloring wood. It was gorgeous. The natural light that came in. Obsessed. They were like, you can bring any vendors you want to bring in here. We'll provide the venue. We'll provide the tables, the chairs, and then everything else you can just bring in yourself. So I was like, okay, we'll just DIY this bitch and go through that process. Because my uncle also had said, if you can't find a caterer, I will cater. My uncle, he's Italian. He makes amazing Italian food. So I would have been totally fine with him catering our wedding.
That was the plan.
And they were like, yeah, you can bring in whoever you want. And then when I think I did mention like, oh my gosh, Uncle Frank will be so happy to like know that he'll cater. So I said something about that. Like, because then they were like, oh, well, you can only use one of our 3 vendors that we work with for food. And I was like, okay, well, I used to work at a Hilton in the banquets, and I knew about how much they would charge per head for like plates and stuff. So like, it can't be like terrible. I've worked weddings for like 100. We wanted about 160 people. We ended up with 144.
Something like that.
But I usually know about how much a head of plate is. I was like, okay, it can't be like more than at most 45 a head. That was, I think, what we charged at the time at the Hilton, or even like it was like a surf and turf. So I was like, okay, whatever. And if we have to do buffet to make it cheaper, that's fine. We signed the deposit, which I should have gotten the vendor's information before signing the deposit, because it was what, like...
Did we even get that in advance, or like after we signed is when they gave that to us?
After we signed is when they gave us the vendor's information.
They get you later.
Exactly.
Do your research.
Ask before you sign, which sounds clear as day, but sometimes, especially when I thought I knew how they would have priced their things, I thought like, okay, like I know banquets, it's fine. We signed the deposit, give them our deposit. It was like $1,500 for the deposit.
We could really use that money right now.
And yeah, and then they send me the vendor information. All 3 of the food options were over $20,000. The venue itself was $3,800. So we thought, this is a steal. We're going to be able to DIY this so well on a like low budget and have a gorgeous wedding in the process. These people tried to take over $20,000 just in food and in silverware, plateware, glassware, linen, napkins, bartenders. They put all of that on this one, which you'd still think like, okay, that's good that they put that all together. But people on a budget, that don't work for us. We were trying to do our wedding less than $20,000, and we did. We ended up doing that. But in the moment, I was like, this is just for food, plates, and napkins, all things I could bring myself. And I was kind of like irritated. So we went back to them and we told them, we're going to have to back out. We cannot afford to have just the food alone be 20,000 plus. They were trying to charge 65 a head. So 160 people with 65 a head is way too much money.
No, don't do that. Don't ever do that.
No. So we went back and they were like, oh, well, because you gave us a deposit, you only get $500 back. So we lost about $1,000 just off rip because we didn't do the fine print work and do the research beforehand. So that was a learning lesson. That bit us in the butt a little bit. But I definitely think that where we ended up getting married was beautiful.
Lovely. Loved the place. Everyone there was really good. They like really cooperated with us and like
Yeah.
they guided us along the way. I think when it came to like the actual planning and like seeing the venue, I think because they picked out chairs and stuff. We just pretty much picked out like the food and then like the colors of like napkins and stuff. And I think they took care of everything, right?
They pretty much took care of everything. It was an all-inclusive place. Shout out. It was international event venue in Tampa. All inclusive. And we stayed well under our budget, which was amazing too, which really helped out. And it came with literally everything. All we had to bring was the cake, and then my bouquets, and then any extra decorations we wanted. But like they even had like these gorgeous like chandelier centerpieces, and then these like white tree branch like pieces, and it was gorgeous. We picked out the colors for like the tablecloths and the napkins and stuff, but like they had an array of like colors. And speaking of like the colors and stuff, like I said earlier, I really wanted emerald green, cream, gold, and white. That was going to be my original color scheme. But then after meeting you, we chose royal blue, rose gold, cream, and white. And that was more so for your dad, right?
Yeah, my dad's always been like a big fan of the color blue, and I think that's partly, or if not all, the reason why I like love the color blue. I'm more like baby blue now, but like I've always loved the color blue.
Mm-hmm.
So like trying to like, I guess honor like have him there a little bit was like, let's have some blue going on here.
Yeah, which honestly worked out for me anyways, because even though my original color scheme was the green, my second color scheme was a royal blue and rose gold. And thankfully, like, it still flowed really well with all of the groomsmen and the bridesmaids. Like, the color looks stunning on everybody. The guys and our groomswoman was in a royal blue. The girls were all in a very rich rose gold that was more, it almost leaned a little bit more purpley in some lights, but in other lights it was rose gold. Because I know that sometimes there can be too much of a champagne-y rose gold, and that would wash out on a number of people. So I made sure I went with a more rich color so that I could have it look good on like every person in my party, because I didn't want anybody to feel like they're spending money on a dress that they're going to look washed out in, because I know I wouldn't want to do that, so I'm not going to do that to my girls. And wedding planning, I would say, yeah, I was stressed out. But for the most part, it was really fun. It honestly, I did have a blast with it. And like, it was nice to see the vision come to life, honestly. I think the most stressful part was trying to get people, like get like the guest list, because I have such a big community. I know Marvin has such a big community. So trying to narrow that down was really tricky, because I have so many people in my life that I love. And a big thing for us, though, we were very strict on was no kids. We did not want kids at the wedding. Working in banquets, I worked in banquets for 7 years. The biggest issue I always had with a banquet was the children. And so the only kids that were at the wedding were the kids in the wedding. And they were perfect little angels. They were sweethearts. And so I was so happy that I had them there. It was my nephews and then one of his cousins. And they were perfect. They like were literally the best kids.
Everybody like, not to be like we put them to work, but like they did their jobs. Everybody had fun, and then when it came to the actual like party, we got to see them like dance and stuff and like enjoy their time after like being in the wedding. So like to see them go out there and like pressure, that was really cool.
Yeah, it was a really good time. And I think too, the process of wedding planning is definitely way longer than the wedding day. Like the wedding day went by in a flash. So it is funny to look at like all the time you spent planning it for it to go by in 5 hours. It's crazy.
You
And
even know it.
yeah. And I think too, there was a lot of compromise in the wedding as well,
Yeah.
to add a couple things that you wanted to contribute to the wedding, which was really, it did make for a really fun wedding.
Yeah, I think I contributed like some really strong, memorable moments, if I say so myself. So the first thing that I contributed was I wanted to walk down to a song because I know like when it comes to weddings, weddings are always, it's about the bride. That like guys were pretty much just like there as like an accessory, a little arm candy. But like something that I was like very confident about was like I wanted to walk down to a song as well. And when my uncle Tramel got married, he actually walked down to the International Players Anthem by UGK Outkast. So I wanted to walk down to that because I am a big Andre 3000 fan, always have been. So like when it comes to like black weddings, that's always like I guess like a staple. If you watch music video, it's Andre 3000 getting married and like doing his verse. So I rapped his verse down the aisle and it ended up being perfect. Everyone was very surprised.
Yeah.
I was very nervous. I spent weeks like in like the days leading up to it, like making sure that like I actually knew the verse. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna get up there, even though I'm just like mouthing it or whatever. Like I still wanted to make sure that like everybody like knew that I was doing this. And it did pretty well. Like we got some videos from everybody who was there and like I put it up on TikTok and it didn't go like viral, but it did very well. So that was something that was cool. And then the other thing that I contributed to, was it the venue's idea for us to have the carriage or whatever, or that was just like an option, and they would play a song when we came out for that.
Yeah, so the carriage was between a carriage or a Hummer that you could actually be carried out in to the reception. And again, this is an indoor reception hall. The ceremony reception hall were together, which was amazing, which helped out for people who came from Ohio. They didn't have to try to Uber around and travel too much. So the reception hall had these huge golden doors that would open up for the bride and groom to come out. And we chose the carriage. Well, more so I chose the carriage. And
I don't
said yes.
Anyways.
I didn't want the Hummer anyways, though. The Hummer, I think, was pink.
I don't even remember.
But the Hummer wasn't really like our style. So we chose a carriage and they were like, oh, you can have any two people pull it. It's super light. They were like, even though it looks big, it is really light. So my nephews actually pushed the carriage for us, which was so cute. And Paxton's over there going like, because of the song that, again, compromise.
Yeah, the second thing that I chose. So like we've already gone over, a big wrestling fan. I wanted to come out to Metalingas, which is the entrance theme for, I guess, the Rated R Superstar Edge. Like if you've ever seen like anything with wrestling, like if you like have watched it a little bit, you know that this theme song is like not like universally considered like the wrestling theme song, but like for like an actual song, this is like a really the strong song. So I was like, this is what, if it's all right with you, this is what I would like us to like kind of come into. So like making those like the give and take when it comes to like not just marriage but like the wedding planning, that was something that we like kind of like gave and take. But with me giving that, something else that you were like you wanted everyone to, all the bridal party to enter into the reception. It's the reception to Forever by Chris Brown.
I did.
Because of The Office.
I did.
And I knew that I before like dating you, I had seen The Office, so I knew the wedding, I knew the scene. Originally, I was like, no Chris Brown in my wedding, but I knew why you wanted, so I was like, okay, we've done the give and pull, like I'm doing, like we're coming out to Metalingas, I'm rapping Andre 3000.
Yeah.
You can have Forever because I know you love The Office, and it did really well. People had already requested it on our like on our website where we had like any requests. I think we asked for a song, so people were already asking for that. So when I saw that as well, I was like, yeah.
Didn't even apparently matter because the DJ that was there went completely off of our list and just did his own thing. I was so mad.
I was wondering if you really get
I was so mad. That was like the one big thing that like really pissed me off, was that the DJ was not playing we made an entire playlist and we had two of my best friends, Naomi and Josefina, help me and Marvin sit down and create like our dream playlist for our wedding. we gave it to the DJ, and he already was giving us issues during the meetings. He would be like, well, I kind of just go off the vibes. I'm like, well, this is our vibe, so go off of this. Thank you. And sorry, just went like bug-eyed. Oh my God, it gets me.
It really does.
Hold on,
That's how you really feel.
let me relax my bugs right now. They're going crazy. Anyways, I need to calm down. I feel like I'm not. I need to calm down. I had specific songs I wanted to play. We had specific songs we wanted to play. We had specific vibes we wanted to play that we knew that everybody would enjoy. And I started to hear the music, and people had a blast regardless. Like, they ended up loving the songs that did play, which I'm very thankful for. We actually had a couple that was like, what was your playlist? We would love to use it for our wedding. And we were like, fun fact, it wasn't even ours. So it worked out anyways, but he played 2 songs that I specifically put on my do not playlist. One was that stupid Journey. Is it Journey?
I thought that was the only one.
Don't Stop Believing.
Stop Believing.
No, I had that one on there. I had Sweet Caroline. Is it that one
I
too?
think Sweet Caroline got played.
No, it was on my list, but it didn't get played. But the YMCA was played, and I asked for no
Are
YMCA.
you sure that was on the list? Because
was-
I would never thought to put the YMCA song on the list.
It was on my do not playlist. Again, working weddings for 7 years, I really did not want a cliche wedding playlist. And most of it was cliche wedding playlist. And I was irritated. But I was like, you know what? People are having fun. Let me not be Bridezilla. At that point, I just let the DJ do what he wanted to do, because I was like, I'm not about to do this.
We all got out there. We did the YMCA. We got videos and stuff. So, hey, we made the most of it.
We made the most of it. We had a good time. And it was a lot of fun, like dancing and stuff. The other, I would say, problem with the wedding planning, especially PSA for brides out there, expect for something to go wrong.
Yeah.
Always expect for something to go wrong, because we had 2 photographers planned for the wedding. And I was close with both of them. I had a female and I had a male. And I was going to have the female do the early shots with me and the girls, and I was going to have the male do the men's shots. So then that way too, the photographers didn't feel rushed. They had time to do like the single shots with everybody. And then I was going to have the male photographer shoot photography and then do a couple videography stuff for our vows, for our like first dance, and the father-daughter, the mother-son, all those things. I was going to have him kind of just capture those moments and like get the recording of like everybody walking down. And 3 days before my wedding, the male photographer ghosts me. Again, known this person for 3 years. We were good friends. I get ghosted. And I don't think he realized that I had his location still on his phone. So I saw him in Ohio the whole time. And I was like messaging, like, where are you? Why aren't you here? Like, I was like, are you going to be shooting my wedding? I'm panicking. So unfortunately, it put a lot of stress on our female photographer, because she ended up having to do both male and female before the ceremony. She had to do, during the cocktail hour, all the photos with the family and bridal party. So I felt so bad that was just put on her. Thankfully, your cousin, Daryl, stood up and he stepped up and he helped shoot the wedding as well. So I really appreciated him for stepping in. He was very honest with us too. He was like, I'm still, learning things about it, but I would love to help out and shoot the wedding. So he stepped up and helped us out, which was great. And but it just sucks, because that was somebody that I considered a friend, and they left me stranded on my most important day. So I reached out to them and I was like, I'm never working with you again. Thank you, but no thank you. We're cool. Because it's not like some photo shoot that you could just be like, hey, sorry, I just couldn't make it. No, this was like our wedding day. That person did reach out to me like 3 months later to give me all these excuses why he couldn't have just texted me like even a month before the wedding to be like, listen, I'm sorry, I can't do this. So that was what like hurt the most, was just like there was excuses with it too. So I just kind of let it be and was like, let me just brush this off and get this out of my life and then move on. So that was like the biggest hiccup I would say that happened with the wedding planning was that we just had I felt bad. And I will say shout out to our wedding coordinator, Cheyenne. She actually took photos of our vows, my sister's speech, Alan's speech. She took videos of both or all three, the first dance, mother, son, father, daughter. So she did really step up and sent us like everything that she had. And so that was really nice that I still had those videos. I just, of course I would wish that it was more better quality than just like a phone recording, but I still got those and it still meant a lot that she stepped up and did that too, since, people can't hold their commitments.
Yeah, I know we had like planned on him doing the videography, and I know like beforehand we agreed that we're not gonna watch the video, but like looking back, I do at least some more free game. I would recommend to get like a videographer for your wedding, just because that is something that you can look back on. Because like if you're going through your phone, you're gonna see videos and stuff where you're gonna like watch and like have memories of the day, but like an actual like professional recording, that's something
Yeah.
like would really like just like seal the deal. And I know like when we have our kids, of course, it'll be like years after we had first gotten married. So like being able to show them like here's a video of things that
Yeah.
happen would really help, as opposed to like the pictures that we have. So just like if you're able to, I would recommend having both photographer and videographer.
I would save the money for sure for that aspect. If you're not gonna go big with anything else, I would say go big with a videographer and a photographer.
Yeah.
For sure. And have them sign a contract beforehand, because both the photographers that we did have were, again, like I said, very close. Shout out Steph, love you girl. Steph Edwards Photography. She stepped up and really helped me out for that day. And even though her and I, we had a mishap with the wedding photos too, she still stepped up and offered other things to help us out, which was great. But yeah, she was so sweet and was like, I love you. Let me do this for you. So we paid her still, even though she offered to do it for us. We still gave her a good amount and tipped her really well. And like we were going to do the same for the other photographer friend. So that's why I didn't feel like we needed to sign a contract, because I knew these people. I had known Steph for 7, almost 8 years. And I'd known the other one for about 3 years. So that's how it was really like hard, because like I knew this person pretty well. So, but I'm somebody that like, I'm super sweet and I'm super respectful. Until you disrespect me, then you do not get near me. I am very much on that path. So that was something I knew I needed to cut ties with. I'm glad I did. I would think though that's the only thing that really, other than like the venue being an issue, at first, but that was honestly a quick and easy fix. Yeah, we lost some money on that, but that's fine. So it was really helpful for your cousin to step up, Steph to step up. It made the day feel much better. I feel like, to know that like they were there to help and support us through everything, even though I lost out on like half of the freaking production.
With all that said, I know we gave like some advice on just like how to handle like some of the wedding prep, and I guess just like proposal, ring shopping, all those good things. So I feel like we're in a pretty good space. So I think we can get out of here. And our plan is to go to the gym after this. I feel like it's still, it's only like 4:35, so we can like give it a minute and then go to the gym.
Yeah.
But until then, Rachel, where can the people find you?
People can find me at Instagram at, I don't know why.
You did that last time.
I don't understand.
Hey, Rachel, where can the people find you?
People can find me on Instagram. My tag is at rosegold_Ray, RAE. And then if you like to get your nails did, you can find my nail page. It's on Instagram at nails by Rachel WRACHAEL. You'll see me standing there with my hair, and I'm holding a Dremel, and I'm like, so when you see that, that'll be me.
Yeah, very cute. Make sure you give her a follow.
Oh my God, so thank you. Where will the people find you at?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Marvin_Martian10. For Martian, that is MARTIAN. And you can follow the podcast at Meant to Be Pod on Instagram. That's MEANT, the number 2 BEPOD. And then if you have anything that you would like us to talk about, you want to send us some emails, any stories, anything like that, maybe just any questions or any advice, things that you're going through, you can email us at menttobepod@gmail.com. And of course, you can, if we're still there, I'm hoping we are, you can follow us on TikTok as well at menttobepod. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Make sure that you guys always, commenting, giving us any feedback that you have. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, turn on those notifications, smash that like button, whatever you can. Leave us any 5 stars reviews. Definitely reach out to us and help us grow this podcast to where we want it to be.
Yeah.
Right?
And if you stay with us, we'll definitely next episode get into the wedding day, bachelorette and bachelor parties, because I know there were some fun stories with those as well.
Yeah.
Same with the wedding day. There was some stuff that went down too on the wedding day. So definitely next episode, stay tuned so that you can hear the follow-up to basically the beginning of our engagement and love story to the actual wedding day. Very excited. Happy anniversary, babe.
Happy anniversary, my love.
2 years.
2 years. God, it goes by so fast, guys. Just so you know, whenever you're engaged in a relationship and all that, it's all going to go by so fast. So, just enjoy the moment while you're all in it, okay?
Yeah. All right.
All right, so until next time, guys, make sure that you keep it real, keep it kind. See ya.
So cute.